Just Sid and Barrett took the regular season title. So congratulations to my good friends Randy and Rachel, the owners of Just Sid and Barrett, for getting that regular season title. However, they did not fare as well in the playoffs, and it came down to the Dirk Cannon and Real Deal Sports Talk. And with the power of Ezekiel Elliott in that Week 17 matchup, they pulled it out and ran away with it there at the end. And they finished fourth in the regular season. Okay, so you don't have to finish again. There you go. Get in. All you need is a shot. Get yourself in the playoffs and see what happens. So congratulations and thank you to everybody who participated in that this season. We'll do that again next year. That was some fun for sure. All right, let's get into it. It's that time. It's time to talk the NFL playoffs. Okay, we have been off the air through the wild card and divisional rounds. We are back now. We're going to get into all of it. Coming up this Sunday, you got the AFC Championship being played between New England and Pittsburgh, and the NFC Championship being played between Green Bay and Atlanta. Okay, let's talk about how we got there. Let's get through that first. All right, wild card weekend, you had Detroit versus Seattle, Green Bay and the Giants, Pittsburgh, Miami, and Houston and Oakland. Okay, Houston and Oakland, everybody kind of saw the writing on that wall with that one, with Oakland going down, Derek Carr being out. You just saw their spirit was sucked out after that. They didn't come out to play against Denver. They came out flat against Houston. They didn't have a backup plan there at quarterback. Connor Cook and the other guy, I can't remember his name now. Should have written it down. Thought I had it on lock. Somebody text in and let me know that guy's name. They just didn't have it. And Brock Osweiler, he's horrible. He didn't play a good game. Houston's defense got them through. And they beat Oakland to move on to face New England. Pittsburgh, they handled Miami. Miami didn't have an answer for what Pittsburgh was doing. I didn't believe they would. Matt Moore is a backup quarterback. You don't want him leading your team in the playoffs. Just a few minutes ago, talking about Vance Joseph, we talked about how many injuries Miami's defense had. Ajayi got pretty much shut down. He did not have the same kind of performance he had against Pittsburgh in the regular season, and thusly you see Pittsburgh move on. Green Bay has Aaron Rodgers. Forget about it. He's in one of those hot streaks like he was when they won it back in 06 or 08, whatever year that was. He's just on. He makes everything look pretty and perfect, and it's so frustrating how you can drop every pass in or have it exactly on a laser line or have every Hail Mary caught. But that's what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table. Right now, actively, he is the best quarterback in the NFL. Tom Brady can't move around and go off hat the way Aaron Rodgers can. Aaron Rodgers, I believe, can match what Tom Brady does from the pocket. So the Giants got shut down. The Green Bay, they move on. Jordy Nelson's out. And, the Giants gave up 7 yards in the first quarter. And then Aaron Rodgers went off and had 369 yards passing and 4 touchdowns after that. Remarkable what kind of game he can put together when he is on. And Detroit and Seattle, Detroit got blown out 26-6. Sure, it was close going into the fourth quarter, 10-6, but we just didn't play well. We didn't have the guys. We didn't have it. We didn't have the execution. We did not stick with the running game. We had guys dropping balls, and ultimately defense. You had a good season. You gave up a nice fight all year long. We just didn't have the health or the bodies. We didn't have the guys we needed. So Seattle moved on. Seattle goes up against divisional round. Seattle got Atlanta. I'm sorry, I picked Atlanta to come back and get this one after what happened to them in the regular season and those bad calls. With that offense at home, quite possibly the last game at the Georgia Dome at that point. Atlanta moves on to the championship game. Dallas and Green Bay. I was taking Green Bay purely based on what Aaron Rodgers had done the previous 6 or 7 weeks. He said he thought they could run the table, and damn it, that's exactly what they did. And they're still on the run. And he's still on fire without Jordy Nelson, who, there's a good chance he doesn't play in the championship game this weekend. But you get through the championship game, you better believe in 2 more weeks after that, he'll be ready to give whatever he has if they make it to the Super Bowl. Okay? So Green Bay, and in my opinion, everybody knows I'm a Lions fan, diehard, 25 years running, okay? But I sat there watching that game. You can ask anybody in my house. I was pissed, okay? I was mad. Y'all don't understand. Like, the calls that were going against Green Bay or not being called for Green Bay were egregious. When a player starts a play and his jersey is over his shoulder pads, and at the end of the play, at the end of running your route, it is off your shoulder pads, you have been held. That happened multiple times to Devontae Adams. Holding calls right in the middle of the pocket on Clay Matthews a couple times during the game. No call. Dallas picks up first downs, goes on to score. Okay? Dallas fans want to say, and what was the little receiver's name? Butler, saying he couldn't beat the refs. They couldn't beat the refs too. No, you got it wrong. It was very clear, and I'm starting to very much believe that there's a bias in the NFL when it comes to teams. And certain teams are wanted to get through more than others. And I think everybody in the league wanted to see Dallas make it through. They didn't. They couldn't hold Aaron Rodgers' momentum down. They win 34-31. Dallas, you go home, retool with those rookies in that offensive line, get better on defense. You're good for some years to come. Houston and New England, everybody knew it was going to happen there. It was just surprising Houston was able to hang in as long as they did. They put up a good fight. Osweiler still sucks. They were in it till the end. But ultimately, New England, home field advantage, they take over in the fourth quarter and move on. Pittsburgh goes down to Kansas City. This game was flexed out of the morning to the evening due to weather concerns. Probably could have been played in the morning. But, hey, they made more money off of it by putting it at the night. Pittsburgh pulls that one out. Controversial call at the end. Maybe. It was holding. You can call holding on every play pretty much. Did they have to call it there? It was right in the middle of the field. He had his arm around his neck because he couldn't block him. Fisher on Harrison. That was holding. It deserved to be called. It should have been called. You would have been mad if that was your team and it wasn't called. I understand the frustration of losing a playoff game. I'm a Lions fan. 25 years strong. We've won one playoff game since I've been a fan. They got the call right. 2-point conversion shouldn't have counted. One of the very few calls this weekend that was a tough call that the refs did get right. So it could be congratulatory that, they got it right at the end of the game. So all that happens, you end up with New England hosting Pittsburgh and Atlanta hosting Green Bay. Now, who am I picking? Most people would go with New England and Atlanta, right? Home field. You got the 1 seed in New England. You got a 2 seed in Atlanta. Atlanta's offense, Green Bay's defense isn't that good. I'm taking Pittsburgh to go into New England, and I'm taking Green Bay to go into Atlanta. And I'm taking both road teams this weekend to make it to the Super Bowl for a rematch of Big Ben and Aaron Rodgers. That's my pick. Super Bowl 51, February 5th. Right now, I'm calling it Green Bay versus Pittsburgh. I'm not going to tell you who's going to win because they're not in it yet, obviously. But once we know who's in, I'll make my prediction on who I think is going to win. But right now I'm calling it. I think Pittsburgh and Green Bay ride their hot streaks right into the playoffs. All right, that's the show. Welcome 2017. Welcome big things. Instead of quantity, we're going to go for quality. We're doing big things. Remember, the text line, 720-515-5597. Check us out on Facebook, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. We're on Twitter, Real Deal KVP. We've been getting a lot of followers on Twitter. Shout out there. Really appreciate that. And if you're feeling so inclined, you want to donate some money so this thing can take off and Real Deal Sports Talk can get some better equipment, please check out our GoFundMe page. Until next time, everybody, you know how we do. We just be real.